That's right. Professor X is finally in, and we have the kit, and it is better than anyone has ever expected. We have an anti-null mechanic, so it's stopping darkness. We have anti-Odin mechanics, anti-assist mechanics, mind control all over the place, battlefield effect removal. I could go on forever. Professor X is absolutely nuts. So obviously we all know who Professor X is. I'm not wasting time reading this stuff. The only thing I will say is he manipulates the beginning of the battle with his passive, denying enemies taunt, speed up or defense up, and limiting speed bar manipulation to only normal means. So this line right here has like 4 teams passives in it. So it's like speed bar manipulation, Captain Britain. Denying taunt, that's all of Immortal X-Men. Speed up, that's all of Starjammers. Defense up, also Immortal X-Men. So like already just that line just shows how insane he is. So let's go over his tags. So Hero Global, Mutant Controller, Mythic, and X-Men. His speed is at 127, so he's pretty quick. He's tied with a lot of characters like Spider-Weaver, Lady Deathstrike, Northstar. So a decent speed, honestly. Decent speed. So let's scroll down and let's go to his passive, which is going to be the kind of overarching part of his kit, and then we'll go into his abilities and which one's going to go off first. So passive, Professor X. Until this character completes a turn, enemies cannot assist. So looking at you, Illuminati. Looking at you, Odin. And guess what? Odin's at 128 speed. So he's going one speed before Odin. So he is not going to be able to assist before Professor X goes and takes his turn. So Odin will be specialing, getting his charges up, but no battlefield effect. And guess what? No more needing to bring Echo. No more needing to bring Gore and Arena. Yes, thank God. Enemies cannot gain taunt, speed up, defense up, and allies cannot gain darkness or slow. So darkness is going to be Null's kit mechanic that is unique to him. So remember, Null goes extremely quickly with a bunch of symbiote members. So he's going to be trying to put out darkness there super quickly, but he's not going to if you have Professor X on your side. All character speed bar can only be filled or reduced by normal means. So again, they can't have super scroll, anything like that, but that's only until Professor X completes his turn. On enemy turn, mind control that enemy to attack the enemy with the highest damage and apply defense down. The controlled character gains 50% damage for the attack and reduces the max health of the target by the amount of damage done. So this is like a Mephisto basic, essentially, but it's a mind control that's out of turn. So if the enemy is taking all of their turns before you, guess what? They're going to be hitting into the highest damage ally over and over and over again. And usually that's Odin. So Odin's going to have max health reduced by all of his allies before he even takes a turn. They're also getting increased damage to take him out faster. And they're going to be putting on their basic ISO attacks on him as well. So if they're putting slow on him, defense down, heal block, all that good stuff, it's all hitting him hard. Before the mind control, clear barrier on the enemy with the highest damage. This is literally just Odin right here. Fill this character's speed bar by 15% and flip defense down. So you are filling Professor X's speed bar if the enemy is going before him. So you want him to go into super fast teams because then he is getting speed bar and he is essentially making you kill yourself, essentially. So it's just great. After any character uses their ultimate ability, if this character does not have exhausted, bury yourself and all allies for 15% of this character's max health. Reduce the duration of all negative effects on self by 1, plus heal self for 10% of this character's max health for each negative effect that expired. Which is nuts. So he's burying himself for every time somebody uses an ultimate. And then he's also healing himself for all the negative effects that are getting cleared on him, which is like a Scourge rule and a Cosmic Crucible rule that we've had before. Enemies with defense down that normally cannot gain trauma can now gain trauma. And guess what? That's Odin. And guess what? Odin can be stunned. And now, because he can have trauma, because he has the defense down, from the mind control over here, you can now trauma stun him with like Black Cat and take him out of the fight immediately. Also, in Arena specifically, if this character has any mythic enemies, which he will, enemies cannot have their max health increase through passive abilities, which is like APOC giving, I think, 20% health, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. The focus and damage of this character can only be reduced by negative effects, which is offense down. So no losing through different passives or anything, no losing focus or damage. And then let's get into the rest of the kit. So let's go to his special because that's going off turn 1. To me, my X-Men do the following to self and all allies. If this character does not have 2 or more exhausted, clear 1 exhausted. That's right, he's clear and exhausted. And exposed, reduce the duration of all negative effects by 2, plus heal for 30% of this character's max health. Do the following to the primary and adjacent targets. Reduce the duration of all positive effects by 2. Clear all charged. Apply defense down for 2 turns and blind for 2 turns. Apply disrupted and trauma. So primary and adjacent, defense down for 2 turns, blind for 2 turns, apply disrupted and trauma for 1 turn each. If the primary or any adjacent targets are controller enemies, apply ability block to that character. Mind control any 2 characters with the most damage to attack the primary target. And remember, this mind control is going to work off of his passive as well, so that's also going to be reducing the max health and giving them 50% extra damage to hit into their own team, which is awesome. Control characters gain 100% extra damage. I'm wondering if this is additive with the 50% extra damage in his passive. Because, oh no, this is on enemy turn, so that's separate. Never mind, that's separate. We're fine. So this is 100%. This damage reduces the max health of the target by the same amount, so just like his passive. And now if Cyclops is Age of X, which is a specific Cyclops, is not currently an ally, summon Cyclops Age of X. The summon Cyclops Age of X ally gains Safeguard for 2 turns and defense up for 2 turns. You're also going to be clearing the battlefield effect on the ally side, which is Odin's battlefield effect, or the Mark of Mephisto as well. This attack is unavoidable, cannot be blocked, and cannot be counterattacked. So since we have the summon here, let's go down and talk about the summon, and then we'll get to his ultimate. So Cyclops Age of X, which is Professor X's summon, at a speed of 108, Hero Global Mutant X-Men Blaster. So let's go to his special here. Apply vulnerable and defense down to the 2 most injured non-summon, non-primary targets, ignoring stealth. Call 2 random allies to each one of the attack one of the previous enemies. So it's just like Cyclops' special now. Cannot be counterattacked. And then for his ultimate, so this did get a little bit of a change. Clear all barrier on all enemies. I'm not sure if that's in the base kit of Cyclops or not. I'm too lazy to look. But we have attack all enemies for 750% damage. And remember, this Cyclops summon stats are going to be based off of Professor X, which is nuts. So he's going to have crazy stats. So 750% damage is insane. Apply slow for 2 turns. And then also clear all battlefield effects on the enemy side. So now you're clearing all battlefield effects on the enemy side. So if they have like a Nova ult on there, if they have anything like that, that will clear battlefield effects on the enemy side, which is also insane. Characters killed by this attack cannot be revived. This attack cannot be blocked or counter-attacked. And then we have passive team synergy on non-X-Men ally, on non-summoned X-Men ally death gain it's up. And then he counterattacks if they hit Xavier, and he counterattacks for 250% damage and applies defense down as well. So going to be counterattacking a lot. This also works with Phoenix. So let's go back up to Professor X's kit and look at his ultimate now. Psionic Pacification. I said that first try. I'm proud of myself. Energy cost 810, so this will be going off turn 2. Flip offense down on self, which is going to be happening before the damage goes out, so that's really awesome. So it's automatically going to be an offense up. Clear barrier on all enemies. Reduce the duration of all positive effects on all enemies by 2. Attack all enemies that are under 25% health for 25% of target's max health. So this is essentially an execute. So attack all enemies that are under 25% health for 25% of the target's max health. So that is literally an execute. It's just a delete. And it also ignores death proof, passives that trigger when a character drops below a certain health as well. So this is going to be like an APOC Falcon Punch to the entire board with offense up and without barrier, because you're also clearing barrier before it does this damage. So this is going to make Professor X absolutely nuts for a very, very, very long time, which is amazing. Attack all other enemies for 750% piercing. This damage reduces the max health of the target by the same amount. So again, reducing max health, another insane mechanic. Characters killed by this attack cannot be revived. This attack is unavoidable, cannot be blocked, cannot be counterattacked. Now let's go to his basic and see what we've got here. So attack primary target for 300% damage, flip immunity, and one additional positive effect to a negative effect, apply slow, and 2 bleed. If the primary target has disrupted, apply blind, and he's going to have disrupted because his special is putting out disrupted. Remember, his special is putting out disrupted here. So if you have a striker attack, you could put blind on them as well. But remember, his special is already putting out blind, so it might be a double stack that you don't need. If this character has ability to block, reduce the speed bar of the primary target by 60%, which is nuts. Imagine a striker attack with that. You're reducing their speed bar by 120%, so you can't go below 0, obviously. So it's literally just putting their speed bar down to 0, which is nuts. Clear 2 negative effects from this character. If any negative effects are removed, heal self for 10% of this character's max health per negative effect removed. Gain evade and offense up. When this character performs an ISO 8 attack, counterattack, or an assist, the attack does no additional effects besides the bleed. So this is a line that they have never put in a kit before, to my knowledge. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below. I read all the comments. This is a brand new mechanic, so I think this is to try to avoid making him a striker, and then he gets that speed bar removal, also the extra bleeds, extra slows, and stuff like that. So it's literally just doing the damage, which is interesting. When forced to attack an ally, this character deals less damage to those allies. This attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked or counter-attacked. So looking at this kit, he is absolutely disgusting. He's also, I think, going to be a raider because he's doing primary and adjacent with his special. He's attacking all with his ultimate. And obviously his basic is getting nerfed because of the ISO 8 attack call out here. Also with counters or an assist or anything like that. But, oh my god, he's countering Null right after Null comes out. He's countering Odin. This guy is going to be insane, so make sure you break your wallets out for that Gear Tier 20 because that's going to be the only way to get it super quick. But I am really excited to see how Professor X changes the meta absolutely everywhere, and I am scared to death to fight him in Cosmic Crucible because there's pretty much no way to stop him because he's clearing negative effects on himself, and it's just I don't know how we're going to counter this guy. If you guys have ideas, let me know down in the comment section below. This has been an insane kit, an insane time for Marvel Strike Force. I'm super excited to see Professor X and unlock him. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, but until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.